All right. Our next friend is Carl Pritchard and the revival of classical architecture. Ooh.
Thank you, Heidi, for a nice introduction. My name is Carl Pritchard. I'm from Buffalo, New York, and you may hear us say from time to time, we love the 4 seasons, but we know there's really only 2 seasons, winter and August. So classical architecture has been in a revival for more than a decade, and how does a software developer become interested in classical architecture? Well, I've been interested in building a house, wanted to do some of the work myself. And so where does an aspiring home builder go for inspiration? Well, that would be the Build Show, a wonderful network of builders who emphasize best practices in building science and construction. And Brent Hall is part of that. He restores historic homes, and he promotes builders elevating their craft to include classical elements. So here he takes a plain hallway with 2-inch moldings and upgrades it to wider moldings, crown moldings, and wainscot. This is the slide that sparked my interest in classical architecture, because I could not believe a few pieces of wood could make such a difference. The fine craftsmanship here just elevates the entire look and feel of the hallway. So how's that for inspiration? Classical architecture is found throughout the world, regardless of culture or style preferences. It is in existing buildings or in new builds. Modernist architecture can be anything, anything that the designer can dream up. Classical architecture follows rules, patterns, and proportions that we are used to seeing in nature. The proportions of the human body, the golden ratio, the Fibonacci sequence, fractal patterns, even the patterns found in musical notes. And of course, rules such as the rule that everything has 3 parts. So here we compare 2 homes shown in the Old Way of Seeing book, and we see that one resonates on the left and the one on the right, not quite. Why might that be? Well, here we can see that the one on the left follows patterns in its design, and the one on the right does not. And in this example, we see the church steeple, if it was any higher or lower, it wouldn't look right because it didn't fit the pattern of the building. The building on the left is made to classical patterns. The building on the right is hard to read and has no discernible pattern, and it does not follow the rule that everything has 3 parts. There is sort of a bottom, but the middle just ends abruptly without a top. One is beautiful, one not so much. I had the honor recently of meeting renowned storyteller and author Martin Shaw, and I asked him about classical architecture. And he said something profound. He said, people's behavior changes when in the presence of beauty. I wanted to learn more about that. So I found the Classical Planning Institute, and they advocate for traditional architecture and for leveraging centuries of human experience and history in designing communities. And they've done some research that says that the beauty afforded by classical architecture creates a sense of well-being and a significant reduction in stress. In survey after survey, people indicate they prefer classical architecture. sometimes more than 9 to 1. And this classical preference is confirmed by eye tracking studies. Cayala City in Guatemala is a newly built city, and when they were planning it, they were very concerned about the high crime rate and didn't want to have a totally restricted city. So they built it with traditional architecture, and they designed it so it fits the local culture and history, and only the residential areas are restricted. The rest is open to the public. Well, they have built a stunning city, and I found a website that said that it is safe for families with children to travel there. So I thought, well, I wonder if that safety has something to do with people's behavior changes when in the presence of beauty. I hope you found this an interesting 6 minutes. And if anybody is interested in building a home or doing a remodel, perhaps you'll consider classical architecture. Thank you, and have a great conference.
Thank you so much, Carl. I feel so much better. I just realized I am classical architecture. I have 3 parts. I've got my head, I've got this part, and my new plastic pants. What do you guys think? You like my new plastic pants? All right. Thank you for making me feel better, Carl.